Be in a good place when the light comes on. Be in a good place when the speakers start. Be in your freaking seat when the event starts. Yes, it's fun to be outside chatting and mingling. You can find great JV markets like that. Do it before and after on lunch. When the event starts, get your butt in the freaking seat. Because guess what? The piece of information that you needed to hear to break through was exactly what was going on inside that room right there. So the first thing is show up mentally. If you have so much crap going on right now in your head, like kids, family, bills, health, whatever, that's still going to be there. No matter what you're doing up here, that's still going to be there. It's just how you approach it to determine the outcome. Everybody, I wish we could dive into that rabbit hole. Yeah. So no matter what's going on at home or in your life, understand that's still going to be there when you get out. That's cool. But for the next 3.5 days, however long ahead, be present in every moment. And I see people in here right now who aren't present on what's going on. How bad do you fucking want it when you're sitting in a small room with a 26-year-old male who's making between $100,000 to $200,000 a month, done it in a couple of years' time, and you have something there to do in your mind? Nothing. Absolutely. Sorry, a little talking there. Trust me, because I know what it takes to get there. And you're chilling in a room with a guy you can ask questions or a girl, whoever, and you're doing something else, your priorities are in the wrong place. Too much head talk going on. So first of all, you want to show up and be present so you can move forward and receive the information. The second thing is I never, ever, 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 ever leave an event, no matter if it's 10 people, 20 people, 3,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, I never leave an event without meeting one person that I can JV with. When we first got started, we were JVing with people that hadn't even generated a list yet. We were just JVing knowledge and ideas. When we had 10, 20 families, we were JVing with people at events were the same way, and we always do it all the way up. Now, I said it in there, I'll say it in here, because I think everybody really needs to get it. Everything that you've ever desired in life, wealth and freedom and happiness, comes from right outside your freaking comfort zone. Just think about it. If right now you're living your life the way that you're living your life, but you want something out here, how can you expect to get here when you're living your life in here, right? This doesn't make any sense. So make sure this weekend that you get out of yourself, out of your head, say, you know what, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just going to go over and talk to this person. I'm going to go over and pick their brain. I'm going to go over and JV with them. It'll change your life. Because then when you go over, and you may stumble and fumble and be an idiot the first time, but when you do it, guess what? Next time, it's not so bad, and then you become like being crazy and talk to anybody and just shoot a thing. So number 2, never leave an event without finding a JV partner. As the key, go to every event to find more JV partners. And number 3 for me is never leave an event, and all these work out together, never leave an event without an epiphany, without an idea, without a nugget that you get from someone outside, or someone on the stage, from this kind of event, that you do not implement. When I go to an event, I implement within the hour, within 3 hours, within 5 hours that night, I implement exactly what I've learned. How many people in here, truthfully, can say that they implement the knowledge that they learn right when they get it? Truthfully, a couple of people. Some of the people making the most money. Everybody who's in Lawrence's team here, you talk about speed of implementation. He'll learn something and have it done the next day, that night, the next class, within the hour. Because you don't want that idea, that energy, that emotional connection to leave when you try and perform that. Questions? So I never leave an event without a nugget, a piece of information, and sometimes it can be as simple as understanding that I need to work on myself more, to release the self-talk, so I can become more self-aware that when I'm in any situation, I can perform at my true best. So number 1 is show up mentally, be there mentally, don't be elsewhere, be in your seat. Number 2 is finding that JV partner that you can move forward with. And number 3 is never leaving an event without that piece of information, that nugget, that epiphany that takes you to the next level. Does anybody have any specific questions on anything, Mark?
Can you give us a little specific, how would you introduce somebody to your list, you know, when you're doing your first JV, is it the intro? Yeah.
Oh, so Marty had a great question. He asked, how would I introduce my JV partner to my list? The procedure is I would, whoever it was, let's say his name was Steve. Steve and I both have 20 leads. We're JVing on emailing each other's lists. I would say, Steve, write me the email that you want me to blast to my list. I would tell him to have it to me within 24 to 48 hours. You don't want to hang around in anything. So Steve sends you his email, proofread it, and make sure it's the agreement that you agreed on. We weren't going to cancel, we're not going to do any tracking, clickbank shit. It's just going to be straight content and knowledge. And then you take his email, you put it in your autoresponder, and at the beginning, you address your list how you normally address them. Greetings, hey Jen, Marty here, whatever. I found this incredible guy, girl, blah, blah, blah. They're doing some amazing things, really genuine person. I wanted to share some awesome insight with you. Check out their email below.
Good.
It's exactly the same way that you and I are best friends. We go to a party. Hey, here's one of my other friends. We're really cool with each other. You guys should meet and hit it off. It's exactly the same way that you would, just really natural. The best copywriters in the world are the best people at connecting and just using regular language like we're having a regular conversation.
Good.
You never want to be too small. Questions?
Yeah, I was on the webinar with Mark Overson this month. He was a genius. I've been happy my whole life with these guys. What are your top 5 vendors like? In other words, people you use for a product.
Okay, for knowledge?
Yeah, for knowledge.
Awesome. So, what's your name? Casey's question was, what's my top 5 vendors or suppliers or companies or books for knowledge, resources for knowledge? Or specifically knowledge? Or like traffic? Or copyright?
Or empower vendors. In other words, like if you had a specific BLA lever, you know, things you use.
Resources.
Yeah.
You were right on with it. Number 1, to me, the best skill that anybody can develop is what? Copyright. Unbelievable copyright. Why? Because if a company that you're in goes down, if you decide, you know what, I'm done marketing this, I want to go somewhere else. If you know how to sell through words, it doesn't matter where you go. You can do a little bit of research on the company or the product or the niche and write persuasive language to get them to buy. So to me, I spend the majority of my learning time studying copywriting. So for me, who's my favorite? I'll give you some free stuff. I love fucking free shit. Who likes free shit in here? The Warrior Forum is a great resource for copywriting. There's a website, GaryHalbertLetter.com. You know that?
Yeah. Download what was it, the Boron letters. Download all of those and read that.
Go to this website, and there's, I would say, there's at least over 1,000 individual pieces of content that you can read that'll blow your freaking mind. Sidetrack, the best way to learn copy that I've learned and then implemented, if I read something like a sales letter, I'll read it out loud and record it, and then I'll write it down. And I'll rewrite it, and then what else I'll do is I'll put my own words in. So as I'm writing it, I've written it out word for word, and then the next time I rewrite it, I go and I'm like, hey, I want to put this word here. Before you know it, it becomes your own language. So copywriting to me is the #1 skill, especially when you're talking about SEO, blogging, video, all that stuff, anything on the internet. So,
if you want to be successful tomorrow and you're in power, doesn't it make more sense to swipe, copy, data chart
I always swipe up,
for the moment?
but you will never be successful in a day. You're going to be successful tomorrow?
Doing 90 days.
Yeah, well, you said the next day. But that, even 90 days is still somewhat unrealistic. I'm telling you. I'm not gonna lie.
Hold back.
I forgot to say that the other group got hurt. This whole weekend, the event, if you hear someone say, I'm making 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand a month, and I'm working an hour or 2 hours a day, don't take that. No, that's true. Oh, that's true. But don't say that they work their whole career an hour or 2 hours a day. Layla and I today work between an hour and a half and 2 hours a day. 3.5 years ago, between 11 and 17 hours a day. But we're stupid. We're crazy, right? And some people don't have the schedule that they can do that. Figure out what you're comfortable with in your life, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 20 minutes, a half hour, what you can comfortably put into your business daily and commit to producing at the highest level when you can perform in that day. If it takes 90 days, 180 days, 360 days, 10 years to transform your life, is it worth it? Well, what's the alternative? 40 years, blah, whatever that fucking saying is, 40 years, blah, 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 to end up, blah, 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 blah. No one wants that shit, right? So we're going on by just, I say to all of our students and anybody that has students, when we get on to this subject, do not put a sell-by date on your success. If someone could, what I mean by that is don't put a stat. If I'm not successful by this day, I'm done. It's good to have specific goals that say, I want to be at this level by this time. But understand, you got to work your ass off to get there. If you don't get there, oh well, I have another goal that I'm moving forward to. People put sell-by dates on their success, and then guess what? They get to that date, and they don't know, they just give up. Guys, being an internet marketer is learning a new language. It's learning a new skill set. In specific forms of Kung Fu or Jiu-Jitsu, they say you have to practice at least 10,000 times with not a submissive opponent, with an opponent who's fighting back. So not only do you have to learn your skill and then go in and craft it, you have to go above and beyond. So please, the worst thing you can do to yourself is say, I'm going to be successful in 6 months, or 3 months, or 10 months. Because then when it doesn't come, you end up freaking out, and some people quit. Never put a sell-by date on your success. We need to wrap up 5 resources. Number 1 would be the Gary Halbert letters, which is free on the internet. Warrior Forum's free. For me, I buy any book by Joe Sugarman, by Dan Kennedy. I read any article, any blog post by Joe Vitale. Mark Overson is an absolute beast. Guys, if you do not have hundreds of dollars to invest in your education right now, thousands of dollars, you can develop an awesome awareness and practice of copywriting just studying Dave Wood. The guy, Dave Sharp's online copy, but Dave Wood's language. Because it's the same thing. If you watch Dave's presentations, the training inside of Empower, you're going to start to learn these thought patterns, these language patterns, and then you implement them in your copy. If anybody reads our emails, I speak the same way that I write. Swear words, spelling mistakes, sometimes you're like, what the hell is he talking about? And then at the end, you're like, oh, he got me again. It's exactly the same. The Gary Halbert is free. Warrior Forum is free. I buy any book by Joe Sugarman. I buy any book by Dan Kennedy. I read everything from Joe Vitale. Mark Holmes is incredible at copywriting. But like I'm saying, if you don't have a shitload of money to invest, you can find something I love to do, and you guys should love to do too. The best launches in weight loss, in dating, in all the big niches online, I read their sales letters. Because what you'll find is the 7 and 8 and 9-figure guys and girls, they rarely study what's going on in the big money online niche. They study what's going on, the guys that are doing $200 million in a launch. They're studying infomercials. They're studying how Obama got back into being a president. I'm not going to go on any politics yet, but did you know that he had 30 email writers in his campaign, absolutely awesome. All the emails are there, public, whatever it's called, public knowledge, you can go on and download them. When you start to be aware of ad copy, what time is it? When you start to be aware of ad copy techniques, everything you do in your life, you'll assess it. A menu at a restaurant, you pull up to a stop sign, and there's a billboard, infomercials. You become aware. Once you start to learn some techniques, start to learn the language, then you become aware. Once you start to become aware, you use it, and then it's all about just building that muscle up, learning it in and out, and then repeating it every single day. So another resource for copywriting for me would be, of course, man, I like copywriting. So imagine in 4 years, I never read a book, 21 years of living, never read a book, and now in 4 years can write a sales letter that produces hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in a matter of days and weeks. This skill can be learned, and it can be learned very, very quickly. So for me, I don't want to give you all kinds of resources, because at the end of the day, you need one. You need one resource that you run with. I don't want to give you too much crap. I mean, sometimes it's awesome shit, but you only need one to run with. But to me, if I was to do it all again and start brand new, I would start with JV partners right from the get-go. I would start list syndication like we spoke about, finding that partner, and I'd be studying my ass off day and night on copywriting, so when I wrote my blog posts each day, the people that came across my blog actually wanted to read it and ended up liking me, knowing me, and buying shit from me. Anybody have any other questions?
What do you do to work at high level here in Darwin?
Well, Robert asked for everybody that didn't hear. Are we okay over there? Someone's passing out all over? Are we all good? Is it hot here or is it just me?
No.
That's normally the case. I had that. Because I hate it when the crowd is warm. Because the last thing I need is people falling asleep. Because I'm giving some good shit. Would you guys agree? Yeah! Some good shit going on? Alright. So Robert asked, and as you can see, I am probably one of the most ADD people you ever meet. I read 2 books at once. I do all kinds of shit at the same time. My family doesn't watch it. Now, Robert asked, how do you focus? He has a problem of focus. A challenge focusing. You know why? I know why. Because you're not in touch with yourself. You're not grounded. You're not, whatever religion you're not centered. You're not relaxed enough to shut out all that's going on here to actually focus on one thing. So there's a strategy that I use when I sit down at the computer to perform at that awesome level. Are we okay over here? Okay. I didn't know. I felt like, I don't know. It looked like someone passed out, and then you guys were like, yeah, no. All right, cool. So we're okay over there. Jesus. Sorry, I use that all the time. So, where were we? Focus.
How ironic.
Do you think this is me up here? I'm like that all the time. You come talk to me one-on-one, I'm the same fucking thing. So believe me, you can completely laser focus when you need to. What I would suggest, there's a technique that I use that I learned from Tim Ferriss. Every time I sit down at the computer to work, or sit down to write out a sales letter, or sit down to do any sort of high-level production activity, I have a stop clock that counts down from an hour and a half. 90 minutes. 90 minutes. When that baby goes to 0, I'm out for 30 to 45 minutes doing something that I love. If you don't have that time frame, if you have, say you sit down and say, I have 45 minutes to crank out. You can crank out top priority shit in 45 minutes. At more than an hour and a half, that's why I want everybody in and out of this section within 10 to 40 minutes, because any more than that, you start to like, and you start losing what's going on. I never have more than 3 things on my to-do list, and I don't call it a to-do list. It's a list, I write shit, and I get it done. Like done with. Any more than 3, your eyes glaze over, you're like, okay, I'm not getting it. So, an hour and a half. If you have 3 hours or you're up all night working, an hour and a half, 30 minutes, do something that completely disconnects you from the noise. The deeper answer to that question is start meditating. Start doing things for you every single day. If you find yourself in the day checking your phone 1,000 times, never really being able to focus, it's only because there's so much going on up here that you can't sit down and focus. All you need to do is just chill out. All you need to do is relax what's going on here. And how do you do that? I suggest meditation, yoga, going on walks, working out, being with loved ones. For me, we meditate every day. We do yoga, we work out. For me, it's music, though. So whatever it is for you, playing with your dog, cooking a meal, whatever it is that you truly love, and you never, when you're in it, you're not thinking about anything else. Maybe it's making love. Whatever it is for you, get into it. And 30 minutes, 40 minutes, rejuvenate. Even take a nap. I fucking love naps. Any of these dudes that are guys and girls, like big marketers or very successful people that talk about, 3 hours sleep per night, you're sitting around, blah, blah, shut up. You don't function well. The guy did a study. You can operate on 4 hours sleep a night for 4 months, and then you'll be done. Immune system shut down. Get sleep. So even if it takes 20 minutes sleep or a nap to get you back in the game, do that. But the deeper question is you got to meditate. You got to relax the self-talk. So when you get to it, you're not worried about everything else. Here's the question.
Toby, my name is Carlos. You talked about content. Content is king. How do you handle blending of content? In other words, content will help, let's say, network marketers, fun content, entertainment content, viral content. Do you have a niche? Do you have a way to handle and blend those? Or do you focus on one type of content?
That's a great question. Carlos asked, when it comes to content, do we have specific kinds of content? Absolutely. Not one post is an all fits all. Like I may write a post, like we're talking about the first post that you want to send to a business partner's list. Isn't going to be pitch, isn't going to be even really keyword driven to get ranked. It's going to be content that you want to share with them for them to get to know you. So on our blog, we have two major kind of content. One is for SEO, so we make sure that it's completely SEO driven on page. And then the other is just straight value. We don't care if it's SEO driven. It's just a blast to a list. It's to share on Facebook where it's going to be seen by different people. It doesn't have to be SEO ranked, straight for value. When you get really good at copywriting, you can have a post that excites people, brings people down, can be virally shared, is SEO driven. You can have a whole extra 20 to 1, but you always want to make sure, like if your goal is to rank us on Google, then your objective is ranked on Google. That's what you focus the content on. And then when you get really good at it, no matter what your outcome is, you'll always have different aspects intertwined.
One more question. Most of your posts, do you focus on something that's kind of like a colorful post or what have you? Something that brings you back to an action call to action?
Yeah, Carlos' question, when we're doing posts about sharing, you're talking about value, it's not really like one that we're ranking to try and sell from. When we're doing one of the posts where we're just sharing value, do we use a call to action? Yes, but it's, like I say, the frank term, really relaxed. At the end of the post, hey, if you like what I'm doing, I got more shit like this, or whatever language you use. I got more stuff like this, you might want to check it out, just head over here. It's a really nonchalant. At the end, once you've wowed them in content, then just say, hey, if you like that stuff, you might want to get more. A post that we use strategically in SEO to be ranked for a keyword, I'm going to have the same concept, because you always want to be just value content, so then you wow your prospect, but at the same time, I'm having at least 4 call to actions throughout that post, with keywords and then individuals.
You write 12 keywords, there a fundamental competition of
Great question, great question. So yeah, Chad, right? Chad has a question, when I'm doing SEO keyword research, I'm targeting a keyword, is there a certain competition that I won't go for? My keyword research is like SEO gurus with the see that they'd be like, you are a chump. You don't know what you're doing. But yeah, our YouTube videos get thousands and thousands of views because we know what we're doing. I would say, to me, I'm looking for a keyword that can search between 10 and 50,000 times. And it depends what you're ranking too. And that's a great question. I'll lead into some shit right now. The competition for me, I'm looking for between 300,000 to even as much as 1 million competing pages. So everybody got that between 10 and 50,000 searches, and then anywhere from 300,000 even as much as 1.2 million pages. You guys want to know a secret strategy on Fiverr that you can rank your shit?
Art!
Well, we learned this strategy a year ago from Ryan Dykes, an incredible marketer, and it's worked for every keyword that we've ever done. And a lot of you guys know that we were